this is John Colo with DiscountJuicers.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you, and what we're going to do today is make something real fun. This is something I used to love drinking as a kid, but now that I'm eating a more natural diet based on fruits and vegetables, I don't drink it anymore. And what we're going to make today is actually a cherry cream soda. So yes, cherry cream soda made out of real plant-based ingredients. Probably one of the healthiest cherry sodas you could ever have in your life. You know, if you go to the store and buy a cherry soda, they have all kinds of different artificial colors, artificial flavors, and all this kind of stuff. You know, I want you guys to eat foods that are found in nature. You know, cherries are found in nature, coconuts are found in nature, you know. Things out of nature and natural foods, in my opinion, are a lot healthier than the processed foods of today that you'll find in your grocery store. And that's why I really like some of these appliances such as the juicers and the blenders that allow you to process the fresh fruits and vegetables and to make them fun and enjoyable, because some people might not just like popping cherries. I know I like popping cherries. But in any case, what we're going to do is we're going to take some cherries, we're going to juice them with the VRT330 HD juicer. And then actually we're going to combine that with some coconut meat and make some of the most delicious, healthiest cream cherry soda ever. So without further ado, let's get started. Now the first thing I want to say is that, you know, I have many juicers. I own many juicers, much like many women out there may have many different pairs of shoes in their closet. And you guys that are women out there know that if you're going to go to a nice dress-up occasion, you're not going to wear some flats or some tennis shoes or some beach thongs. You're going to wear some nice, maybe high heels or something like that. And you know, I look at juicers the same way. I want to pick the right juicer for the right job at the right time. That being said, many of you guys may not have the luxury of owning many different juicers. So then you have to choose the juice that's going to best meet your needs, whatever they may be. I can tell you that personally, the VRT juicer sits on my counter and I use it 90% of the time, and because it meets my needs, and I just really like it a lot, and it works really well for me. That being said, because it works well for me, doesn't mean it's going to work well for you. I encourage you to watch my other videos on YouTube where I compare all the different juicers juicing different things to show you guys which juicer works best based on what you want to do, because I juice all different kinds of things. In my testing, the VRT juicer works the best, especially for cherries that are unpitted. Now, I do not recommend juicing cherries that are unpitted in any other juicer than the VRT juicers. Actually, the VRT350 HD, the 330 HD, or the VRT400. It can handle the pits in the cherries. If you put cherries with the pits in any other juicer, you're probably going to break your juicer and it's going to void your warranty. But not so with the VRT juicers. I guess without further ado, let's just get into this. We'll turn this machine on. Another thing I like about the VRT juicer is that it runs at a low and slow 80 RPMs. That's revolutions per minute. This has a slow running auger in here that I'll show you guys that runs very slowly. And as it's running, it literally squeezes out the juice instead of one of those high-speed blades that can oxidize your juice more and lower the nutrition. In addition, this has an automatic wiping blade that rotates around to help keep the screen clean, so that will ensure you get a higher yield, and also it's easier to clean when you're done. I guess without further ado, let's just go ahead and start juicing. We have our cherries already pre-washed, and you don't even need to de-stem them with the VRT. Turn the machine on, and we're just going to drop one cherry in at a time. You'll hear it pop that kernel up, or the seed up, and you know, you do not want to take a whole bunch of cherries and throw them in at once. You may damage the juicer. Just one cherry at a time till you hear that pop, and then drop in the next one. As you can see out this side, we're getting the cherry pulp, so that's including the cherry pits that have been ground up and fractionated. Also, the little stems are coming out that side as well. And over on this side, we're getting some delicious black cherry juice. Man, can't wait to make this. This is going to be delicious. Now, I always want to encourage you guys to, you know, eat a diet rich in fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. Fresh fruits and fresh vegetables are the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. What does nutrient-dense mean? That means it has a lot of nutrition, including vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, and antioxidants, compared to the amount of calories, which is small. Standard American food like fast foods and things in packages, bottles, and jars at your local supermarket, you know, are processed foods, and they contain a lot of calories but very little nutrition. Our bodies really run on nutrition and not necessarily the calories. in my opinion, a lot of the challenges of today are because people are eating, calorically rich foods that are nutrient weak. And instead, we should be eating, like they did just a couple hundred years ago, nutrient-dense foods with very little calories. And juicing is an excellent way to get more of these fresh fruits and vegetables in you. So we've been juicing. We're already up to 3/4 of a cup of juice, and we're just going to go ahead and juice more cherries until we probably got about a good 16 ounces. So we're just about done juicing our cherries. I think I'll put like a cup more in there. Once again, you want to, take your time feeding the cherries in. You don't want to dump them in at once because all those seeds or pits can be hard on the machine. Now I know you might be thinking, hey John, is it even alright to juice the pits in the Omega Vert? Well, things like smaller than cherry pits can be juiced. So watermelon seeds, cantaloupe seeds, apple seeds, pear seeds, things like that. No problem in the Omega Vert. Now pits like in plums and peaches, nectarines, they do need to be removed or you will damage the machine. I guess the other question is, John, isn't there some like toxins in the pit like cyanide and whatnot? And absolutely, there are small amounts of toxins in every little pit, and that's because nature or the cherry tree doesn't want the animals in nature to eat the pits, because the pits and the seeds are actually the seeds that germinate in the ground to grow a whole new tree. So nature puts these in there for a reason. Now I think if you're making some cherry juice once a year, a couple times a year, when cherries are in season, I personally don't think it's going to be a problem. But of course you want to do your own research, and you may want to pit your cherries if you are concerned about it. I personally believe that there are actually beneficial nutrients in the cherry pits like B17 or laetrile. So looks like we got all our cherry juice here. We're going to go ahead and take this out. We got about 16 ounces of cherry juice. We're going to go ahead and pour in to the blender crab. Look at that. Nice clean consistency. Actually virtually no pulp in there at all. So you might be thinking, John, I thought you're supposed to be making cherry soda, cherry cream soda. Where's the cream, man? Well, we got the cherry juice, but now we need to add the cream. So what we got to add for the cream is we're going to use coconuts. Coconuts are an excellent source of medium chain fatty acids. They have the coconut meat in there. Many of you guys actually may buy coconut oil for the medium chain fatty acids, but instead of eating the oil, I encourage you guys to buy the whole food instead. Besides having the oil, there's also other nutrition in the coconut besides just the fat, because all oils are 100% fat and contain about 120 calories per tablespoon, which is definitely a lot of calories. Once again, a lot of calories and yeah, lower nutrition even in the coconut oil and all other oils in my opinion. So we're going to take the coconut. What we done was we got the white coconut here, so I recommend you guys find the white coconut whenever possible. Ask at your local grocery store. These ones are imported from Mexico. You guys may be familiar with the brown coconut that looks very similar, hairy and whatnot. And the brown coconuts actually have a more mature meat, so the oil content is going to be, much greater, and the recipe won't work as well with the brown, but you can use the brown instead of this. And this recipe that I'm doing today will not necessarily work with the young coconut. I would do that a little bit differently if I did have a young coconut. So what we're going to do is we broke open a coconut in half, and we're just going to go ahead and take out the meat, and we're just going to put the meat in with our cherry juice. We got 16 ounces of the cherry juice to one whole coconut meat. Next, we're going to go ahead and put this on a blender. And now you do need a high power blender to do this recipe. If you just have a standard kitchen blender, you might want to only put half the amount of meat in. This is probably like I think a 1+ horsepower blender, so it should be pretty decent. Let's go ahead and turn this on and blend up this mixture. Alright, now that we got this mixture nice and blended, this is a nice thick mixture here, and this is something you probably wouldn't want to drink. The coconut fiber is actually quite thick, and it's going to leave a lot of texture in your mouth. Not too fun. So what we need to do now is we need to strain out the fiber that we just put in there. But along with the fiber, we got the fat, so we want to keep the fat, remove the fiber. How can we do this? We got the Omega VRT330 HD to help us out here. So we're going to take another glass, put it underneath the juice catch spout. We're going to take our liquid here from the blender. We're going to pour this through the machine just little by little. We're going to go ahead and pour this up until it comes maybe halfway up the feed chute there. And another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take some cherries without the stem here and drop those in occasionally. That'll help keep pushing the fibrous pulp out of the machine, because the juicer relies on some hard fiber to work properly, and without the hard fiber it may actually not work properly. So I like to interject some cherries every now and then, and you'll see like a rush of pulp coming out the ejection port. As you can see, what's coming out on this side is mostly the pulp from the coconut. That's also colored pink now. So we're removing all that stuff. We're keeping the nice, rich, fatty cream or the oil. And you can make a coconut milk this similar way. Instead of using the cherry juice, you'd actually use just some water. And this is the exact same way you would make a coconut milk. So it's coming out there, looking really good. I think we'll go ahead and drop a couple more de-stemmed cherries right in there. You'll hear it crack that cherry, and you'll see a flood of the juice coming out and some more of the pulp coming out. It's very important when doing this, depending on the consistency of your coconut, to put some fruit back through there, especially with the pit, to help it keep on flowing out, because otherwise it may get stuck. And if it gets stuck, what's going to happen is you're going to get a really pulpy result on this side, and we want a nice, delicious cherry cream juice coming out. And looks like it's working great. Our cup's just about full, so let's go ahead and turn this machine off and get to the next step. Now's the next step. Might be thinking, hey John, I thought we're making a cherry soda, man. Right now you just got a creamy cherry juice with the coconut and the cherries. Yes, we are making a soda, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to take some of the creamy cherry juice here. We're going to pour that in a little container. And what we're going to do is we need to add the fizz. So what better thing to add the fizz than sparkling mineral water. So we're just going to go ahead and take this sparkling mineral water, and we're going to add this to our cherry. Oh man, check it out. It's foaming right up. Adding in the bubbles that y'all want, and that y'all missed since you're a kid. Next, we're going to go ahead and simply stir that up. And check it out, even got that nice frothy creaminess on the top, and we're going to go ahead and try this. Wow, creamy cherry soda made with the Omega Vert and a good powerful blender. Man, truly delicious. Now if you wanted to get crazier, you could actually even add some vanilla bean in here, blend up the vanilla bean. When you make this, before you run it back through the machine, it's had a nice vanilla flavor. Of course, you want to pick the ripest cherries as possible, get the highest sweetness content. And yes, remember, this is not a processed food. This is not going to be as sweet as that stuff in the store that they add sugar to, and lots of sugar to make it taste sweet. So with this, you get the real full cherry flavor by just simply using cherries, coconut, some sparkling mineral water, so that you can now eat healthier and eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, so that you could be healthier too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode learning how you can make your own cherry cream soda in the Omega VRT330 HD juicer. Once again, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.